Hello, this is Kyungmi Shin. For my exhibit at the Orange County Museum of Art, I will be showing a combination of porcelain sculptures and painted photographs. I titled the installation, Father Crosses the Ocean. The father in the title referring both to my father who crossed the ocean immigrating to the US from South Korea, as well as the Catholic priests and Protestant missionaries who crossed oceans to proselytize. The idea for the exhibit began with a series of old family photos of my father in his 30s. My father suffering from the Alzheimer's, and I have been struggling with the notion of one's identity in relationship to one's memory. Watching my father holding on to and losing his memories, I began going through my family archive. I wanted to create a project that investigated not only my father's personal journey, but also of the larger world. I was particularly interested in the porcelain as a material because of the historical narrative surrounding the porcelain. For the exhibit, I made a series of porcelain self-portrait busts and porcelain busts of my father during a residency I participated in October 2019 in Jingdezhen, China, a city with a rich history of porcelain production and 1,000 years of trade with the West. At my studio in Los Angeles, I created a series of porcelain sculptures that I am calling chinoiserie objects. They are various hands with rococo handles and opium poppy flowers glazed in white or celadon glazes. My studio, and I have works that will be shown at the Orange County Museum laid out here so I could see and play with the different combinations of objects for the installation. This is one of the 4 large painted photo collage works. The second one. The third and fourth is in various stages of being mounted and being finished. And this is one of the portrait and large tile pieces that are shown as a combination. This particular one is a self-portrait with a tile work that depicts Buddha's hand, which is from a Monkey King mythology, Journey to the West. Some detail. On this table, you see a variety of celadon objects. Some of these, including this self-portrait bust, was made in Jingdezhen, China. And some other elements, such as these opium flowers, were made in the studio here in Los Angeles. And this is a chinoiserie object combining a sculpture of a hand of the artist and a Baroque or Rococo handle. These are some of the other objects that will be in the show, in the maquette of the exhibit. It's a series of plates with images of chinoiserie painting. This is another sculpture that will be in the exhibit. It just needs to be glazed. And this is one of the painted photo collages that will be in the exhibit. Usually have an idea or general feeling about the finished work in terms of the source materials or what I would like to have in the work I don't necessarily understand exactly how they will come together or what specific images will be used. So in this case, I knew I wanted to use a photograph of my father in relationship to chinoiserie painting that I saw in Paris at the Decorative Arts Museum, but I wasn't exactly sure how they will come together. And I also wanted to juxtapose this image of carriages, royal carriage from Portugal, in relationship to my father, the sofa that he's sitting on, because of the kind of Baroque, Rococo elements I thought related to it. But I didn't know exactly how they were going to come together. So what I did was I played with working with the background, which is a repeated image of the chinoiserie painting, eventually turned into a wallpaper pattern. And then I decided to represent my father and the carriage as a overlay on top of the wallpaper as a painted element. So what I did was the outline of my father is painted with a white acrylic paint, and the details of the carriage, which depicts an African and an Asian colonial subjects in the carriage as a white painted elements.